live? Let me check just to make sure. Hello, hello, hello. Alrighty, hold on. I had a little shorts promo that I wanted to post. I'm gonna try something because I noticed when you post the shorts, it makes a big boost like right away, and then it like is never seen again. And so I'm like, hey, if I do this at the start of a live stream, because you can link to a video, and I link to this live stream, we will see if that works. Let's see. Live right now. Come join. We're actually live right now. Come join. Okay. Live making Forest Shot Part 2. Let me just make sure everything's all good. And upload. Okay. We'll see if that brings in the crowd. Hello everyone from yesterday. Should I wear my glasses? Keep things on brand. Maybe. Yeah, why not? Okay, so we are going to continue the shot that we started yesterday. We're gonna do some blocking animation. So usually the first stage of the actual animation process, you kind of block it out, where you set some early keyframes and kind of get a sense of things. To make this scene run a lot faster. One second. To make the scene run a lot faster, I'm going to hide a lot of these details because we don't actually need a lot of those. We kind of just need this ground that she's on. We need this ground and this character. Might even keep this rock too, just so we can see the silhouette. So, but everything else I'm going to move to a new layer. All the trees, all the twigs, all this goodness, all this fine detail, all this set dressing. And we are going to move it. Hold on one second. Let me just make sure that uploaded properly. Hey, if you're watching this, it's because we're actually live right now. Hey, if you're watching this, it's because we're actually live right now. Okay. Cool. So we're gonna move this to a new layer, just so it doesn't bog down the scene, because this is a lot of geometry, and that can get pretty processor heavy pretty fast. I'm gonna move to a new layer, call this foliage. I'm not searching for a layer, I'm moving to a new one. They moved this button, I swear they did, because my muscle memory just keeps not working right here. I don't know if that's a 5.0 thing that just happened, but it keeps happening. It's happened for the last couple days. So now we can disable that and just make this scene run a lot faster. We'll turn off this little scattering too. I have these little pine needles from the trees scattering all over the place, but we don't need that for now. We want it on the render. This will be good to start. Actually, I might want some of these trunks. I might want this trunk. Yeah, maybe just that one. So I can see the silhouette of what's going on. Because that actually interferes with the animation. She's gonna start like kind of over here and then move. Where's my grease pen? Oh, there we go. She's gonna start like over here and then maybe like kind of step up and step down. And then probably the shot's gonna cut around here. I don't think she's gonna go all the way to the rock. We'll see. An earlier version of this shot, I had her sit on the rock, but it's being replaced in the edit with a better shot, I think. But we will see. Okay, so that's hidden. I want to bring back this tree. I can hide the subdivision, though. Move to scene collection. Get foliage out of there. Alright, so we're going to start with a blocking pass. Which I don't have any reference footage, but how fast does this scene run? Let me... Simplifies on. Why is this running so slowly? This shouldn't be running at 10 frames a second. I don't know if it's because of the stream I have going on, but anyway, we'll work with it. We'll just start by getting some early keyframes into place. Also, she needs 2 different props. So let me append. I modeled one of the props earlier. 1 second. Present. Cube. It's just like a present. It's a box. Where'd it go? So that she will be holding to the side of her. Hold it long ways. Something like that. And then she'll also have a bag, which I don't have that asset completed, but I can make like a temp object just so we can see what she's working with and kind of see the weight of it. Because also this is a far away shot and it's silhouetted, so I don't care about the details in terms of the actual interacting of the bag. That doesn't matter as much for this shot. And we can always polish it later after we swap in the real asset. Subdivide. Smooth. No. Ugh. Let me just make a little makeshift kind of backpacky looking thing. Something like this. Yep. Yeah. There'll be a strap. I figure it's on the far arm, because that's what this arm's doing. Make its pivot point higher up here. That way, when it rotates, it kind of has like this weight, and so you can tell the pivot point is like an implied strap that's up here. Let me get some of this looking better. Again, this is just a temporary object. That'll work. Yeah, that'll work. I might just parent it to one of these arms. What should it parent? Should it parent to the hand? Yeah, I'll parent it to the hand. Her elbow is doing some weird stuff. Control P. Yeah. This rig is a mess, by the way. You're gonna realize that as you go along. The rig needs a lot of work, but I keep tinkering with it, and I'm the only one working with it, so I guess if I'm fine working with a broken rig. Where's the finger layer? fingers are hidden. The fingers are rigged. Where are they at? Oh, this is such a rookie mistake. Maybe we'll just hide it. A harder time hiding this one. I might add a shape key there just so it kind of doesn't cut into it. And where are where's the little fingers? Let me turn on all these layers just to see, because it's one of them. No? Where's the finger rig? What? Maybe this is the wrong rig. But I already have it laid out in this shot, so we can just work with it. Let's add a shape key. This is not how you do this. This is not how you do this at all. There we go. So don't follow those instructions, because this is the wrong way of doing it. It's just gotta be what I'm doing, because I don't want to dig around for the right hand rig. I want these fingers to be together. It looks like this in the shot, so again, I'm not too worried about the details. Not too worried at all. Hello, person watching. If you would comment and say hello, that would be much appreciated, because it helps with the algorithm, apparently. Control P, make parent to bone. And we gotta parent it to the present bone. I might even want to. I probably should switch these to FK, actually. But this rig again is so broken. How do I K? Attribute. Oh, I can't find anything. Oh, this body rig was clearly not ready to work with, but that's okay. Viewport camera. I'm gonna start it further back. Over here. Turn on auto keying. I'm gonna set this to constant. Default interpolation. Constant. There we go. Not gonna move the root bone. Where's the foot? Where's the foot? I'll move it down here. I'm gonna do a step. I want this kind of like a step forward motion. I should have recorded a reference video that I would be mapping onto, but you know, something with like the weight forward like this. Let's see. I'll play with the spacing of this later. What's going on with those cheeks? Hold on. Let's see. I'm gonna start by doing these all on the same frame, so I just kind of get these poses into place. This could be a little. Not gonna worry about the timing just yet. I always think it's good to animate in camera view as well, just because that's the drawing you're making. Might be too far. Let me just frame this one on here. Frame selected. So I can easily grab these. Then I'll keep this one framed on the camera, and then this will just kind of orbit here. Put a keyframe in this first one. It's a little clunky and heavy looking, but we'll see how it looks. This is just a blocking pass, so there'll be plenty of time to refine. Hands. I might even just hide every bone except for these ones, because these are what I'm working with. just to keep things cleaner. Cleaner for now. I want to move the hip forward, the hip and the arms. Kind of like a maybe that can be now she's too low. It's a little. The head to be forward, because I don't want like that, you know, or just Head to be forward. I want some teeth. Let's see. Next, that leg comes forward. Her head needs to stay. Actually, it's okay if she looks down. It's like she's watching her step. So I'll keep the head down for a second. And then 30. I want the timing, I want her to go a little faster down the hill, so it's like, you know, whenever you're hiking and you just kind of have that irregular pace. We're gonna mess with the timing later. Right now I'm evenly spacing these keyframes. But it'll be like... it'll be like that. Where's the front bone? It's been inactive for a while. I want the foot to stay there. See where it's like slower up the hill and then faster down the hill. That's what we're going for. I want like a like a little stutter, you know? You know when you're going downhill and you're moving a little faster than your plan on it? I think the best sequence of that that's been animated is in Spirited Away when she's running down the stairs and it's like, ah. It's like you can't stop, but you just keep going. That'll need another. That'll need another in between. Oh wait, no. Doesn't look very balanced right here. Yeah, that's sort of working a little bit. Little bit. There's a lot of polish that still needs to happen. This too right here. I think the head lookup will happen after, probably. So that way there's a delay, there's a bit of an overlapping action going on. Something like this. Again, we're not paying attention to the timing of it just yet. These shoes are also just temporary blobs. As you can tell, the weight painting on them is atrocious. Look at that, disgusting. Poor camera. But it's gonna work for now. I want the head to... The head needs to move with the body, otherwise you get like a weird like bird motion where the head kind of, you know, does its own thing, and we don't want that. We do not want that. The shot's probably gonna cut. I'll just add like another step or so in. That'll need another breakdown in between. I want this pose to be like a stronger. I like that straight line where it's like, you know. Okay. That works as a. Let me add one more step in. I think the shot will probably end around here. Good measure. I need to play with the end of the shot actually because we're going to retime this. Let's see, is this playing in real time? I'll do frame dropping. The playback, I had it set to play every frame, but then that just slows down the frame rate because it's only doing 10 frames a second for some reason. But if you set it to frame dropping, it will skip frames to keep the timeline at 24 FPS. So that's roughly like the speed it's moving at. We're gonna add some breakdown keyframes to this. What is this and this? Some of these should probably be on there. Because I don't want these keyframes getting really messy really fast. Hold on, I'm just gonna check the... Check that short I posted and see if it did anything. Sort of. Okay, this is looking like a start. Let me see how it looks in the... That first step's feeling very heavy. Very heavy to me. I don't want it to look like there's like ankle weights, you know? Which that first, I was going for like a bit heavy because it was like an uphill, and then it's late in the day and she's carrying stuff, so just a bit of tiredness is what I'm going for. But that's not the vibe I'm getting. I'm getting ankle weights with this weird step, so I think this step is what's throwing it. It's like too high. I was trying to exaggerate the pose since it's behind a tree. And the body throwing forward, I think, might be... messing with it. Because I want like a swoop, you know? like this step right here can be a little forward. That's closer to what we're going for. Sorry, I'm getting Slack notifications. I'm gonna add some breakdowns to this. Most of the timing, actually, I'm feeling this end here. I want to be a little slower. After she's at the bottom of the hill. Just scale 1.5. Oh, not just for that. Let me select everything. Scale 1.5. Because this first half of it, I do want this, like, kind of speed walk down the hill. His legs flip there. Yeah. That's working. I am going to... No. Dope sheet. Go to the dope sheet. You can color these, I believe. How do you color them? Oh, maybe you do that in the timeline. Do you color them in the timeline? There's a hotkey you do where you color you can color the keyframe, so that way you can see, you know, what's a keyframe or what's a breakdown. Because these get actually, let me look up real fast what that is. Blender color keyframes. Is there a way to change the color of the keyframes? There is a way. Why are you telling me there isn't a way? I know there's a way, I've done it. Go to Zard. Select subject. Go to Zard keyframe. Select the object. Animation. There's a video. Let me mute it. Or not. Who's this by? Frame set. R? Is it R? There it is, R. Thank you. I learned it from a YouTube channel called Draw Easy. Is that his name? Yeah, Draw Easy. So shout out to you. Thank you for that. Alrighty, back to this. Hold on. Okay, we're back. I have a second monitor where the stream is going, so I just check now and make sure it's going good. Okay, so all of these are, let's see, keyframes that we want to keep. I want to kind of clean this up. Because I don't know why this wouldn't be on the same frame. But we're gonna add some breakdowns. Something like that. This is so I'm using constant interpolation, which at the very early stages of blocking an animation, it can be really helpful because it doesn't automate any of the in-between frames. It just does the keyframes that you set. And so you can really see how your poses are working without getting distracted by the smoothness of the motion. It always looks better for a while also, because you get like this kind of sharp snappiness, and whenever you switch it over to Bezier, it does like this weird floaty type of animation. But then you have to kind of add in the snappiness back. Okay, some of these. I don't want this arc. I want like a much smoother arc there. That's looking pretty smooth actually, because it's almost on twos. Pretty smooth indeed. There's a weird little hop in the step. Maybe keeping it simple might be better. There needs to be a little bit of motion because the weight is shifting off of this leg. So it should be more forward, but see how it's color coded so you can see what the original keyframes were. Not too worried about the head movement. I think it's going to be pretty simple. pretty simple in retrospect. Well, it doesn't need to be in retrospect. We can determine that right now. Let's see. How do you ghost? I don't know. Oh, is that the... Oh, there we go. So if you do Shift E, you can slide in between the two keyframes. So that can be a good base. A good basis for getting your shapes. I kind of want that little snap there where it starts like that and then it's like so that might be too extreme. Let's see. I'm gonna hide these feet too, maybe. Because I don't want it looking like she's walking right on the horizon, you know? It's... which I guess the ground will really break it up, but... something weird's happening around here. I think this leg needs to be straightened. That keyframe didn't do anything. There definitely needs to be a... something right in the middle there. The knees don't need to be too bent when she's walking, because that's just not how people walk, you know? People don't walk crouched. Let me check the door. Sorry, I thought a package had arrived. But it hadn't. Let's see. That this step needs to happen faster. Hold on, let me just feel the rhythm of this. The last step's feeling funny for some reason. Is it too low? Let's see. This. This one needs to be a little this way. Let's see how that looks. this head like a more of a secondary animation. I might want the, when she's going down, the box to like clench up a little bit. You know how you hold something a little tighter maybe whenever your footing's uneven? I don't know what y'all are thinking. One second. I don't know, how are we feeling about this? Yeah. Let's see. I guess from far away. Let me take this hand and over in the just from like about here onward. I just want to slightly increase it so it looks like the box is clenched. Could even do not sure how that latter half is working. Actually, what'll happen? We're not supposed to do this just yet. Usually you take a break and just kind of refresh your eyes so you can see what's going on, but if I select everything and just set it to Bezier. Well, I'm not feeling that, but that's okay. We'll set it back to constant because it looks a little better. Now this needs another pass on top of it, because there's some funky shapes going on. There's a few things working, but there's definitely some funky shapes going on. But we'll deal with that. I'll be live again tomorrow. Tomorrow at 1 my time, same time as this one. So if you liked this, we will meet up again tomorrow. But let me just give that I don't think I saved the entire time, man. Give that a save, and we will do this again tomorrow. Alrighty. Adios, everyone.